Saint Monica, also known as Monica of Hippo, was an early Christian saint and the mother of St. Augustine of Hippo. She is remembered and honored in most Christian denominations, albeit on different feast days, for her outstanding Christian virtues, particularly the suffering caused by her husband's adultery, and her prayerful life dedicated to the reformation of her son, who wrote extensively of her pious acts and life with her in his Confessions. Popular Christian legends recall St. Monica weeping every night for her son Augustine. Life. Because of her name and place of birth, Monica is assumed to have been born in Tagaste. She is believed to have been a Berber on the basis of her name. She was married early in life to Patricius, a Roman pagan who held an official position in Tagaste. Patricius had a violent temper and appears to have been of dissolute habits. Apparently his mother was the same way. Monica's alms, deeds and prayer habits annoyed Patricius, but it is said that he always held her in respect. Monica had 3 children who survived infancy, sons Augustine and Navigius and daughter Perpetua. Unable to secure baptism for them, she grieved heavily when Augustine fell ill. In her distress she asked Patricius to allow Augustine to be baptized. He agreed, then withdrew this consent when the boy recovered. But Monica's joy and relief at Augustine's recovery turned to anxiety, as he must spend his renewed life being wayward and, as he himself tells us, lazy. He was finally sent to school at Madaros. He was 17 and studying rhetoric in Carthage when Patricius died. Augustine had become a Manichaean at Carthage, when upon his return home he shared his views regarding Manichaeism. Monica drove him away from her table. However, she is said to have experienced a vision that convinced her to reconcile with him. At this time she visited a certain holy bishop who consoled her with the now famous words, "The child of those tears shall never perish." Monica followed her wayward son to Rome, where he had gone secretly. When she arrived he had already gone to Milan, but she followed him. Here she found Ambrose, and through him she ultimately had the joy of seeing Augustine convert to Christianity after 17 years of resistance. In his book Confessions, Augustine wrote of a peculiar practice of his mother in which she brought to certain oratories, erected in the memory of the saints, offerings of porridge, bread, water and wine. Quote, "When she moved to Milan, the Bishop Ambrose forbade her to use the offering of wine, since it might be an occasion of gluttony for those who were already given to drink. So, Augustine wrote of her, in place of a basket filled with fruits of the earth, she had learned to bring to the oratories of the martyrs a heart full of purer petitions, and to give all that she could to the poor, so that the communion of the Lord's body might be rightly celebrated in those places where, after the example of his passion, the martyrs had been sacrificed and crowned." Mother and son spent 6 months of true peace at Ruscasicum, after which Augustine was baptized in the Church of St. John the Baptist at Milan. Africa claimed them, however, and they set out on the journey, stopping at Civitavecchia and at Ostia. Here death overtook Monica, and Augustine's grief inspired the finest pages of his Confessions. Veneration. St. Monica was buried at Ostia, and at first seems to have been almost forgotten, though her body was removed during the 6th century to a hidden crypt in the church of Santa Aurea in Ostia. Monica was buried near the tomb of St. Aurea of Ostia. It was later transferred to the Basilica of Sant'Agostino, Rome. Anasius Orchenius Bassis wrote Monica's funerary epitaph, which survived in ancient manuscripts. The actual stone on which it was written was rediscovered in the summer of 1945 in the church of Santa Aurea. The fragment was discovered after 2 boys were digging a hole to plant a football post in the courtyard beside Santa Aurea. A translation from the Latin, by Douglas Bowen, reads, "Here the most virtuous mother of a young man set her ashes, a second light to your merits, Augustine. As As a priest, serving the heavenly laws of peace, you taught the people entrusted to you with your character. A glory greater than the praise of your accomplishments crowns you both mother of the virtues, more fortunate because of her offspring. About the 13th century, however, the cult of St. Monica began to spread, and a feast in her honor was kept on the 4th of May. In 1430, Pope Martin V ordered the relics to be brought to Rome. Many miracles occurred on the way, and the cult use of St. Monica was definitely established. Later, the Archbishop of Rouen, Guillaume de Hauteville, built a church at Rome in honor of St. Augustine, the Basilica di Sant'Agostino, and deposited the relics of St. Monica in a chapel to the left of the high altar. The office of St. Monica, however, does not seem to have found a place in the Roman breviary before the 16th century. The city of Santa Monica, California, is named after Monica. A legend states that in the 18th century Father Juan Crespi named a local dripping spring Las Lagrimas de Santa Monica that was reminiscent of the tears that St. Monica shed over her son's early impiety. As recorded in his diary, however, Crespi actually named the place San Gregorio. What is known for certain is that by the 1820s, the name Santa Monica was in use, and its first official mention occurred in 1827 in the form of a grazing permit. There is a statue of this saint in Santa Monica's Palisades Park by sculptor Eugene Morahan. It was completed in 1934. In popular culture, the weeping springs outside Santa Monica, California were named for the saint. Patricia Miguel fictionalized her life in the 1964 novel, My Brothers, Remember Monica, a novel of the mother of Augustine. In the 2012 film Restless Heart, The Confessions of St. Augustine, St. Monica is portrayed by Italian actress Monica Guerritor. In the oratorio La Conversione di Sant'Agostino, composed by Johann Adolf Hasse, St. Monica's role in the conversion of her son St. Augustine is dramatized. Gallery. Bibliography. Peter Brown, Augustine of Hippo, a biography. New edition with an epilogue. Berkeley, University of California Press, c. 2000. Everett Ferguson, Encyclopedia of Early Christianity. Taylor and Amp, Francis, 1998, p. 776. John J. O'Meara, The Young Augustine, The Growth of St.